Sup nerds, I'm Tom.
I'm Wes.
Today we're going to talk about Barcelona and the expansion, which you may not see on the table. Just kidding, it's right here. So before we get started, you may notice that we have the game on the table, but we very much so did not set it up all like we started to. We really half-assed it. We'll rely an awful lot on pictures and stuff for things that we're talking about in editing and post. And then I'll start with one of my only real complaints about this game is that the setup does take an awful lot of time, and it's a huge table hog.
It's a big game. There are a lot of components going on. It's worth it, though.
Yeah.
Make time for it. Buy a game topper so you have space to set it up at your house. It's really good.
Now, the only aspect of the table that I will use is to explain a little bit about the game, and I think probably the easiest way to explain it is it's basically a point salad game. You're going to do a lot of various actions that will get you points in different ways. But the main thing you're going to do on your turn is you're going to have these little people of two different colors. You can actually stack them in whatever order you want, which doesn't make any sense to you right now. But what I will tell you is you're going to place it on the board in an intersection. And then I'm going to do the action here and the action here. And that's how you choose your actions. And then as time goes on, these will get removed. So actually, once I come here, right, no other player can play there. But that's a huge portion of some games have their base mechanics are difficult, right? Well, what do I do on your turn? Well, here's your list of actions here. And it's you just look for open intersections and boom, there you go.
Or figure out the action you want to take in an intersection that allows you to do that with a combo.
That one, this with that, yeah.
And then the pieces you put out there get used later to actually build the buildings onto the board.
Correct. So the first half of your turn is doing the actions. The second half is building buildings. So the location you place is significant for both the actions that you're going to choose, but then that adjacency of tokens. So if I place in this intersection and then Wes places in the intersection next to it, well, those two people there could now build in the square that's an intersection of, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And it's very much a point salad-y game where there's points everywhere. Everything you do is getting you points. But there's several different strategies to how you want to get the points. Because at the end of each round, and you score everything up, you can go for really expensive buildings just to get a ton of points and cool stuff. But if you build the really expensive buildings, there's a track over here with a guy who gets really mad at you urbanizing the city, and so you move down on his track. And his track is actually a multiplier for a lot of the other things that you do.
They have the end of round scoring things, which you could be like, well, I'm actually not doing well on that objective anyway, so I'm okay with not getting points at the end of the round. I want to just build all the big buildings. And building isn't even a choice, too. You have to build at the end.
You have to!
Because it doesn't cost money, really. It just doesn't cost any resources from you. It's just what is already out there in adjacency-wise.
And you could build buildings on top of other buildings as long as you're building a nicer or the higher level. Is a tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 buildings. So you can if you build a tier 1, you have to build that on the ground, and then a tier 2 or 3 can be built on the 1, and then a tier 3 can be built on a 2.
Mm-hmm. And you actually can, because building's not a choice, you can accidentally set somebody else up to build a really big building because you're like, well, I really want to take these actions, and not really realize that, now I'm adjacent. I'm giving him the perfect spot to do.
Yeah.
He just places this guy here, and now there's 3 workers adjacent here, and one of them's blue, so you can build the biggest building and get all the points. But also, building buildings is a good way to get points, but there's tons of other things. You have a track at the top of your board that you can advance on that lets you take building tiles and place them out here that gets you tons of points and abilities. There's also another type of building thing you can do that you can put off to the side of your board that gives you points and really big abilities. Mm-hmm. You can build up the city, like the roads, the intersections, and all the roads in between all the actions. You can place your pieces out there.
You can drive your trolley on your roads.
To get extra actions and stuff.
Drop people off at different buildings to get different points for different objectives.
Mm-hmm. And then one thing from the expansion, which you can move your die up or down this road over here, and you'll flip it up, pip it up, I guess I should say, right? Whenever there's 3 objectives on there, and as long as you have done those objectives, other things to have done in the game, and whenever your die gets to the end of the track, depending on how high value it is, you'll be able to get points and bonuses for that. So also, again, this is a very big game, lots of stuff going on, so we're not going to get too deep into it, but that's just to give you an idea of the fact that there are a lot of different ways to get points that aren't necessarily interlinked in the way that, like, well, I have to do this in order to do this other action. You can kind of just focus on one thing and go ham on it and get a lot of points.
And since you already mentioned the expansion, I do appreciate that this expansion adds more to the game without really changing the game. It's not like this expansion totally changes the feel of it, or it makes it cooperative, or anything like that. It's just, there's a ton of stuff to do in the game, and now you have a few more things to do and a few more ways to go out and just get the points. And some of it even passively. Like I guess passive's not really the right word. It's that you're trying to get an action, and going here also triggers that thing to happen. So I wasn't even really going for this, but it's going to trigger. And look, I wasn't even going for this objective, but I happen to have that out there. I do feel like there's a lot of that kind of stuff that happens in this game. As you're building everything up, you'll start piecing together like, this happens, and I could go here, and I'm almost at this point. One of the things you had mentioned earlier was accidentally setting somebody up for a good turn or a good building to build. And I feel like this is one of those games where there is enough going on that at least I'm not really heavily focused on what other people are doing. I'm like, you guys are over there doing your thing, and I'm mostly focused on maximizing my points and less focused on like, I'm going to come here and cut you off. Now I blocked you.
Yeah, true. You could look over to another player and realize like, oh wait, you have a lot of like end game scoring tiles that you're all going to score, and you can actually upgrade the scoring of them, the multiplier of your scoring. Like, oh wow, you've upgraded like 3 of them already. Yeah. I thought I was crushing, but I didn't realize you have a gajillion endgame points. I mean, I'm pretty far ahead, but I think his endgames... Actually, it's good, because... Well, if you weren't going to go there, I was 100% unless you had somehow built somewhere else. And also, a gajillion points is a thing in this game.
Yes.
Like 300 points, those are... we're not talking, I got 9 points. Oh, I got 12 points. I win. No, sir. In fact, I can't remember exactly. I'm certain I'll put up a clip here. But I lost to my buddy Doug by like a few points, maybe like 1 or 2 or something. And it was in like the 200s. It was crazy. 224 to 226. You asshole.
This is definitely a game I'm so glad I made the time to play. It's big, it's heavy, it's a table hog, but it is so much fun. There are so many moments that are just satisfying when things come together, when you've got these all things work together and you can make that mega play. I absolutely loved it. I strongly recommended this game.
Big time commitment, a lot of setup, a lot of table space, but so worth it. It's one of my... Again, I hate when I play a game very recently and now I'm saying, whoa, this is my favorite, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but board and dice, they slap, right? They rarely have misses.
Yeah.
So I will say that this is definitely in my top 5. And they have a lot of great games, so that's saying something.
Rank these board and dice games. No one comes next. If you would like to pick up a copy of this game, there will be a purchase link down in the description where you can get one.
And while you're down there, don't forget to check out our link for Game Toppers. They also slap. They're awesome. They're amazing. They're what we're filming on right here. You can spill beer all over this playmat and buy a new one. Just kidding. You can wash it.
Take the shower with you.
Take it in the shower with you.
And while you're slapping things, make sure you slap that subscribe button.
Slap that like
so
crush
you'll
that
never
like
be
button.
bored.
Hit that bell, boy.
I'm glad that was on camera.
I'm not in frame. Oh, I'm in frame.